take that one, this one, that one. I'm gonna take them all.
Well, that's usually how it goes when we're in here with the clients. We make a pile, we have them try them on. It's all good.
Yeah, I have been a little nervous because it's such a important topic, and it's what you're doing is so important and it's so meaningful.
Thank you.
And it's so real. Like, I think you're probably one. I mean, everyone that I've interviewed are real. We're doing real stuff, but this is very definitely, obviously, something where it's like external factors are affecting people in a way that's like, that's why this place exists. What is this place? Sorry, I'm gonna go on and like, what is this place?
Yeah,
what is this
so
salon?
the salon is called Kinner Beauty, and I like to use the word kinner and kin in everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So the organization is called Cancer Kinship, hence the name Kinner Beauty. And the whole idea behind our free wig salon is to empower cancer warriors to feel their absolute best and to feel beautiful inside and out. We have this beautiful location here where our clients can come in, get fitted for a free wig. And while they're here, a lot comes out in our conversations, but it's the best way for us to give a lot of love, support from a cancer survivor to a newly diagnosed cancer patient.
Oof.
Heavy.
Heavy, but I think, we talked about what our purpose in this conversation. I think it's the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing, which is to instill hope. I don't know why comfort comes to mind, but this idea of comfort, because I think when everyone thinks about that word, this word of cancer, it's very scary, it's very jarring, and I'm seeing you smile, and it's like to know that there's somebody like you out here who's, receiving people in that space, with a smile and like saying like we're gonna have a good time in here trying these wigs. Like, to me, that's very beautiful. So it's truly an honor to sit here and have cafecito, hot chocolate abuelita with you, and talk about who is this Yoli. Like, that to me is always, it's just a very exciting for me, is to dig deep into like who you are and how you came to be this strong and caring person who's out here in the community supporting people. So before we get into all of that, Yoli, I really like to eat.
Okay.
It's very important that we eat before we do anything. I had a live show recently, and I was like, I gotta make sure everyone eats before, because my sister's like, when do we eat? I'm like, oh, you eat when you get there.
Yes.
So we're eating when we get here, and here we are. And look what you brought. What have you brought us?
Yes.
Today?
Okay. So when we had the conversation about you coming out, and there's always food involved in all your recordings, I wanted to take it old school, to make it welcoming, like when you're walking into your abuelita's house. And that's how people feel usually, I think, when they come to my home. So I go overboard with food and just kind of prepare a lot of stuff. I wanted to have a little spread that was a combination of like the abuelita chocolate and the little cookies that almost every Latino family has in their home, right? That box.
Oh yeah,
you
the
know
box, the infamous box. What's it called? That box?
I don't even know.
That infamous box, yeah.
You know, the cookies.
Oh yeah, the wafers. Right?
And then of course, I wanted to make like a charcuterie board, which is over there. But instead of cheese, it's the little coconut candy.
I love that.
All these little candies that we all grew up with.
Oh, I know what that is now. Yeah.
Right? It's like cake, baked cake.
But it's like coconut.
That. Yeah. So it is like super gooey, and it's not good for you, I don't think.
Well, no one's ever done this before. We're going to have a post-interview little snacky snack.
Yes. So.
As well.
Absolutely. So it's 11 o'clock right now. By the time we're done, it's going to be lunchtime.
Yeah,
so I did put together a little Instapot over there because I cooked what my dad usually makes for me when I go home for a visit in Central California, which is a bowl of frijolitos with chicharroncitos and nopalitos.
I saw some cheese.
And they're all over there.
Yes,
with some queso fresco. So we're going to grub. We're going to eat so much today. And
do you have a favorite cheese, by the way? Because queso fresco to me is like, it's one of my faves.
Otija.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. For all my beans, for all my tacos, for everything.
But you can't eat too much of that, right? That's like more of just like the spreading.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your dad would cook for all of you?
Mm-hmm. My dad's a rock star. Mm-hmm. My dad raised 7 crazy kids on his own after my mom passed away when I was a kid. And my dad's 86 now. And he lives in like near Fresno area. Yeah, so he's a little rock star. Now we're taking care of him. Yeah, he still cooks. He runs around, does his yard, and like has an amazing garden. And I learn a ton from him. He's like my hero.
What kind of stuff would he cook besides the chicharrón?
Oh my gosh.
Have some
carne de res con chile, pork meat with little, ¿cómo se dice? I calabacitas.
Oh yeah.
Calabacitas with pork meat. What
Okay.
else? He makes tortillas still.
Oh, by hand?
Yes.
Love that.
He makes his little corn tortillas,
Love
has his
that.
little press. What else? He makes pretty much anything. Yeah, he's awesome. And then I learned from him. So anything that I know how to cook,
Yeah.
I learned from my father.
Yeah.
I watched my mom too when I was a kid, but I didn't have a lot of time with her. So
Yeah. What do you remember of your mom?
my mom, oh gosh, she was so loving, always playful, always had music playing. And when my dad would come home from work, she'd dance with my dad. Like she'd be sleeping and then like they dance in the living room. And my dad was a musician, so my dad always had music going too, and I was always playing the guitar or writing songs. And so our home was always lively and loud. But yeah, my mom was just caring and loving. Loved the Lord.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she loved the Lord, loved going to church, and so we learned a lot from her too.
Yeah. You had mentioned, I definitely made sure we had a very meaningful conversation, obviously part of this interview, and I had never been so emotional in a meeting with meeting with somebody.
Sorry.
But it was just like, no, I mean, for me, like I was like sitting there and I'm like, wow, like I'm just like so thankful that I have the ability to like go and meet with people like you and learn more about you. And cancer is something that you're helping folks who are diagnosed with this, but it obviously has been in your life.
Yeah.
And so I do want to kind of talk through that journey with you, and I talk about your mom because your mom, the reason why she is no longer with us is because of this
cancer.
because of cancer.
So it is definitely a heavy topic,
Yeah.
and everybody seems to be emotional when they come in here. So be forewarned, everyone. But also in a very kind of touching way, right? Because cancer touches everyone, right? Whether it's your family members, your neighbor, just it's like
Everyone's
one degree of
affected by
everyone.
Yeah.
So it really just it resonates when we talk about what we do here at our organization. But taking it back to the story, my family story has been deeply impacted by cancer. So my mom and my sister are the bookends to my diagnosis. And so my mom was in her 30s when she was diagnosed. So like in 83, 84, she was diagnosed with stage 2 cancer that went to the other breast. And back then the treatments were different. So her treatment protocols involved chemotherapy and radiation, but they were brutal. But despite how hard it was for her and how sick she was still kind. She was still funny. She still did things around the home as much as she could. She's still disciplined us.
I was gonna say, can we talk about that for a moment?
Yeah.
Because I think this is what's interesting is your experience is it is gonna affect a child. It's gonna affect a sister, and so you experienced different ways of how this has affected people. Like when you said you were like 10, and you're seeing your mother. Like, how was that? Like, how did you find out? How did they tell you all? And how do you feel looking back? Like, were you there to support your mom, or like, what does a kid to do like in that situation?
Yeah, and I think my mom was very in tune to our needs as children. There's 7 of us, and I think the oldest at that time was in his older teens, and then I was the baby. She was an open book. She shared everything with all of us as much as she felt comfortable, but she also showed us what was going on with her surgeries and her treatment, so that alleviated any fear that we may have, or just kind of this made up narrative in our head of what was happening to her. And she would just say, I'm going to be sick. I'm going to go to treatment. I'm going to be sick. I need you guys to help out and chip in, but this is what's going on. And then she's like, and I'm going to need help. So we would help bathe her. We would help feed her. We did a lot for her. Probably too intense for some children, but I feel like all of us were incredibly resilient because of her ability to just share her story with us and what was happening.
That is actually that is fascinating to hear, because it's almost like, because I think we all always have this fear of getting sick, or fear of something bad happening, or
sharing the bad news.
Or sharing the bad news instead of being I don't know, it's actually refreshing to hear that your mother was like, listen, this is what's going on, this is how we can support, instead of kind of hiding it or being frozen in that space.
The bottom line is we're going to know that she's sick.
Yeah.
Her hair was going to fall.
Yeah.
She's going to be in surgery. Yeah. She's going to be recovering. She's going to be in bed. It's that's not how our mom was before. It was helpful for us to know ahead of time, and then to also feel like we're contributing to her recovery.
Yeah.
I went with her to a lot of her treatments. I remember going to the cancer center, or not the cancer center, the oncology office. And I would play with the little things that the nurses would give me, and I was just there with her. And I remember how sick she was coming home, because back then in the 80s, the treatments were gnarly, which made me scared when I was diagnosed. Fast forward 25 years, still, you know, being able to contribute to my mom's well-being was pretty special, especially she didn't survive. So being able to do that for her in her last years is actually, I wouldn't want it any other way. I would rather be there with her and tend to her needs, because we were there with her when she needed us the most.
It's crazy you say this, and I'm like, man, and then I'm looking at what you're doing right now, and you're helping people. It's like, you're a force. And I'm sure your mother, like, you know,
I feel
instilled
like
so much of that. It's like, I know it's like, whenever, however long, you know, knock on wood, wherever the universe takes us, but, like, whatever you can do, right, is like, in that time, so.
Yeah.
It sounds like your mom was really cool. What was her name?
Yolanda.
Shut up! Yolanda.
Yeah, I was named after my mom.
Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Yolanda. But yeah, she was a rock star. She was amazing. I remember her even in her last phase of life. She would often pray for the nurses. She'd pray for all of us.
Wow.
She'd like read the Bible to us. Like, she was just so instilled in her faith and leaned on her faith so much until the very end. And that carried her all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And that provided a wonderful example for us too, of like living this fearless life.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, she sounds so fearless.
Yeah,
you know? Because,
she really was.
You know, I mean, I have met people who are like close to the Lord, and then things happen, and they get scared
or angry,
or
right?
angry. Yeah. Yes.
She had a lot of hope. Like, she's like, I know where I'm going. It's all good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So talk about a wonderful example for just not even cancer, just life, right?
Life, yeah.
Bad things happen all the time, and things.
And how to treat others. I mean, the fact that she was like praying for the nurses and just like.
I'll never forget it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. She was so sick. And there she was. All right, let's pray. She was awesome. Yeah.
Well, I see a lot of. It sounds like she's a lot. That reminds me a lot of like what you're doing here.
Thank you.
You know, I'm asking her like, what'd you do on Labor Day? And, you know, but you're out here helping. You're out here supporting, and look at that smile. You just smile. Like, there's so much grace. I think you're.
Thank you. It's
so Yoli.
It's a lot of gratitude too. I have a ton of gratitude, right?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like even though I've been handed this life, right, with cancer diagnosis and recovery surgeries for days, it's like, and being able to experience the suffering alongside the cancer patients now, like, it's still a gift. I think I'm trusted in this space, and we can bring in other survivors to join the force here. And
you mentioned an interesting word that I only learned this real word like growing up in the Catholic Church. I don't practice anymore. This idea of suffering, and you know, I curious because you just mentioned that word, and I'm like, I recently talked to somebody about this, about how their kid is actually going through something, right? And or some family member is going through something, and this idea of like suffering, and how, well, suffering is a part of life. Like it's something that we're all going to experience. I'm like, there's no point in knocking, because that's life, right?
Yeah.
And it's about how to get through those moments without getting angry or hurting other people, right?
Right.
And not, because I think parents, like, that's what I'm thinking about how your mom is so refreshing to hear that she was like, listen, this is what's going on. Is like not avoiding, not avoiding or not trying to hide certain realities of life, which is like
or stuff it down, dismiss it or deny it.
So what's your philosophy on suffering based on your experience?
I always encourage people, and even myself, it's like, okay, this is my reality. Think about my diagnosis, actually.
Do you wanna?
Well, I was 31 when I was diagnosed, and I found my own cancer tumors on Thanksgiving Day, and immediately, rather than saying, it's not cancer, it can't be, no way, there's no way, how could I ever, I've been doing everything right, like, why me? Instead of thinking that, immediately, like, okay, I think this is cancer, yes, I'm scared, this is scary, oh my gosh, I may die, but let me find out as much as I can about it, and then kind of lean into that fear, and like, not embrace it, because that sounds too dramatic,
but you were going to shy away, it sounds like you were like, I'm not going to shy away from this.
Because I honestly feel like knowledge is power. So the more I know about what I'm having to face, the more educated decisions I can make about my own healthcare in this example, and just kind of face it head on.
That's your mom right there. Do you realize that? Like, that's so cool. What a gift your mom gave you.
Yeah, I definitely remembered her. I remembered her a lot when I had that fear of like, what's going on? I feel this tumor. So for me, it was important to like get it checked out right away. Like, let's not waste any time. Let's figure out what it is. I didn't tell anybody at first. Like, I had family in town coming over and had turkey cooking.
Oh, the whole thing? This
yeah.
is right before everybody, before the dinner?
Yes.
Oh,
this was me getting out of the shower, and I had this sharp pain, and I put my hand right on my breast, and I was like, whoa, what is that big old tumor? So anyway, I didn't tell anybody in the beginning, just like, okay, let me just figure this out, and then I'll tell people. Yeah, it was a very hard weekend, to say the least. And then Monday I went in for an exam initially. So I was like super healthy, and I was 31. They weren't doing mammograms at 30 back then, right? It was 50 back then, 16 years ago.
Now it's 40, right? Like
yeah. Now it's 40 unless you have symptoms, and you can go sooner. So anyway, I went in and had my appointment. The doctor's like, yeah, I feel that. I'm going to send you for imaging, your first mammogram ultrasound. I'm like, great. So then he's like, they're going to call you for imaging. I'm like, all right. So I waited, got the phone call, and they're like, yeah, we'll see you, Miss Origel, but not until the end of February or maybe late January. This was November. And I'm like, no, you're going to see me by Friday. Very presumptuous.
I love it.
And then the lady kind of even like giggled, like maybe sarcastically even. She's like, yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am. I know everybody has an urgent case, but we don't have any appointments. I said, okay. So I hung up. I called my doctor, and I asked to speak with the doctor. He got on the phone, and I said, will you please call the imaging center and get me in by Friday? Wow. Like, I won't take no for an answer. Like, I can feel this tumor. I know it's cancer. Like, my mom, the history, like, I need this imaging done by Friday.
Wow.
And so he's like, okay. And then lo and behold, I get the phone call.
Got
It was like, yeah, we have an appointment for you. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And it was that Friday. Advocacy, people.
Advocacy.
You can advocate for yourself.
Wow.
You can be firm.
Yeah.
You can still be kind and courteous, but advocate, and get what you need. So yeah, I went in for imaging on Friday, and they kept doing the ultrasound over and over, and I was freaking out. I was by myself again. I hadn't told anybody at this point. I remember the radiologist came in and turned the screen towards me, and he's like, you have a mass, you have lots of cancer in your underarms. Like, I'm almost...
Underarms?
It had already spread.
Oh my gosh.
He said, I'm almost 100% certain you have cancer, and we took the liberty of making an appointment for you to see a breast surgeon, and she's waiting for you.
Right now?
Right now.
Right away?
Yes.
Oh my god, I didn't remember the story.
I was like,
what?
Hold the phone. Yeah, I was so scared. That is when the first time when I went like, and I started crying, and I'm like, the first question out of my mouth was, am I going to die like my mom? And then the second thought that I had was, I can't go out there like this in the salon where all the ladies were waiting for their mammograms. Like, they're going to see me crying. They're going to be so scared. I need to settle down. So, but anyway, long story short, they had me go pick up my images, drive down to my breast surgeon. I kept pulling over. I remember this drive. Oh my gosh. I kept pulling over and crying because I couldn't like keep driving. So I would pull over, then drive again, pull over, drive again, look at my images, freak out, keep going.
What were you? May I ask you? Like, what was the thing that kept you from moving forward?
Oh, like in the drive?
Yeah, like kept you from.
I was too I couldn't see, like literally crying. I couldn't see, and like, I need to pull over. Like, it was just too much. Because I was just scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. I have my brother I'm taking care of. I just got custody of my 2 nephews who need me. Like, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to tell my dad? Like, I kept thinking about my dad. So, anyway, I get there. The story doesn't get better. I get there, and I was late because I kept pulling over. That the surgeon had to go into surgery. So, they're like, take your images home. Wait the whole weekend. Come back on Monday, and we'll do the biopsy. So, like, gosh, hardest weekend ever. So hard. But come Monday, I had the biopsy done. By Wednesday, I had a diagnosis. Stage 3, maybe stage 4. We had to do a PET scan. Oh my gosh. May have spread. So you're going to have PET scan, genetics, MRI. MRI uncovered another tumor. So I had 3 tumors and cancer cells in the underarm. Ton of cancer. Wow. But thankfully, it didn't spread anywhere else. So it's all right here. I'm like, okay, stage 3, I can still beat this. But it was still scary, right? So even like looking at, okay, can I talk about pet peeves for a second?
Sure.
Okay, pet peeve. I don't like it when people say the word journey, or even when I say the word journey, when we talk about cancer, because it feels like an adventure, a vacation, or something like that. It's like, no, it's a freaking storm. Like, you're in this tormenta, this remolino, right? You're just kind of rolling around. Doctor appointment, MRI, CT scan, this and that. So you're just in this storm. So even when you look at our organization's tagline, it's braving the storm together. Because it's acknowledging that it is hard, you're in it, but there's also some calm and peace that can happen in the middle of the storm. So anyway, just wanted to share that little tidbit. But
that's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was like the diagnosis story, and that's how I found out. And it was in the course of like 2.5 weeks. So got diagnosed in mid-December, started chemotherapy right after Christmas. I remember that Christmas was like, oh, this may be my last Christmas. Like, this sucks, you know? So like, all right, like, I gotta do what I can to beat this, because I may not be here next Christmas. I remember driving from my father's, saying bye to my dad and everyone, and I was just like,
had you tell them, or you hadn't told?
I told my brothers. I didn't tell my dad. My dad just had open heart surgery. I couldn't tell him. I couldn't break his heart. I was like, I'm just gonna go get treatment and like wear a really amazing wig. So he doesn't know for a while. I told him later. He found out later, but I couldn't tell him at that moment. But cool story about my brother. So I called my brother, who was living in LA at the time. I was living here in Orange County. And this is like has to do with food. So I called my brother and I told him, he was one of the first people I told. He was at work. I could tell he was busy working. And he's like, what's up? I was like, I just want to let you know I just got diagnosed with cancer. He's like,
you told him like that?
Yeah. I had a doctor's appointment. I felt a lump. I got diagnosed with cancer. And he goes, are you home? I said, yep. Are you okay? Yep. He's like, okay, I'll call you back. I'm at work.
Okay.
Like, okay, well, done. Right? One done. 20 more to go. About an hour and a half later, he showed up at my home. Like, he told his boss he had to leave.
What?
Showed up with food, drinks. Not drinks like alcohol, but like something to drink. And nacho libre.
Oh.
He's like, you gotta eat. This sucks, but you can still laugh. We're going to have a good time today.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Right?
Oh my God.
He's like, I'm here. So he hung out, we ate food, we just kind of hung out and we talked. And yeah, I was like, yeah, this is my reality now.
You bring up a good point though, may I ask, like, if you have friends or family who are going through this storm, thank you for clarifying that.
Sure.
Is like how, like obviously him showing up, him providing like, what are ways for other people to be supportive? What do you think? I mean, I know everyone's journey is so different and unique, but...
And you can still say journey. I say it all the time.
No. I mean, it's so... I love that language is so powerful, so I'm happy that you clarified that, because it is like... I've never experienced, so how could I, you know? So I think it's... I'm happy that you shared that with me, and I think a lot of us sometimes we're like, how do you be there for people that are going through something like this? Like, how can people... Like, I think that's a beautiful example of how your brother was like... So I don't know if you have any thoughts around that.
I do. And, you know, he could have said, well, let me know if you need anything. You know, because that's what most people do. Because they don't know what else to say and do, right?
Yes.
But in his case, he just showed up with food. Because he knew I had to eat. And he knew probably that I hadn't eaten all damn day. Right? Yeah. So it's just like looking at practically, like practical. Like, what are some practical ways that you can show up for your loved one, right? Without expecting them to ask for help, because they may not even know how to, may not have the words to say, maybe scared to say I need help, or maybe have a little bit of pride even. I had a lot of pride back then. I had to squash that real quick. But, you know, I'm an independent woman. Like, I'm fine. I don't need any help. Yes, I need a lot of help. Just showing up for them. Some of my best memories when I was going through treatment or recovering from treatment or surgery was when my loved ones would show up with food and said, I'm scared too. Let's sit down and eat. You need to eat something. Instead of saying, you're going to be fine. You're going to be, you know, and I appreciate the words of like, you're so brave, you're courageous, you look great, you're so strong. I'm like, really? Because I feel like I just got hit by a truck. And I look like death right now, seriously. Like, I'm so pale and I'm missing my breasts, you know. Come on. I don't look like I belong on the fashion runway. Man. So, you know, just kind of being honest and real with them and say, you know what? Yeah, you look a little sick, but let's put some lipstick on you. You know, like, it's okay to say that and acknowledge that it sucks. Like, that is important, is to say, I'm scared. I don't even know what to say, but I'm just going to sit here with you. And just be there. Just show up.
I think that might have to do with a lot of, like, going back to your mother, Yoli, is like this idea of like, it's okay to be scared about things, sure, but like there's power in like being honest and being real about things, and because stuff happens, and this is refreshing to hear for me. So thank you for sharing that advice.
And don't
really,
say, at least you're getting a free boob job.
Oh my God, you get that?
Yes.
People.
Yes, people, do not say, at least you're getting a free boob job. Because there's nothing free about this. Nothing free about this. It's more like a hack job, you know, so.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I got that a lot.
You got that a lot.
At least you're going to have perky boobs forever. True. I'm going to have the perkiest boobs until like I'm 90. But, you know, when you're going through that, it's hard to hear.
Yeah.
Like, really, I'd rather have my real boobs. Like,
yeah.
So.
No.
Anyway,
this is good. This is
real talk, right?
Real talk. Yeah. I mean, I think we have to. I mean, I love this vulnerability because it's like, how can we really show up for people that we care about for something like this? And even like right now, when you're telling me about like the list that you had to tell people, like, how was that journey of like, it's hard enough to accept it yourself, right, and go through it. But now you have to start sharing with people. Obviously, at least people that are, you know, are going to be in your tribe or like supporting you. But
I like that word tribe, by the way.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was hard. I think that was probably one of the hardest things out of the whole process was knowing that I'm going to break all these people's hearts right now, and that I'm going to instill fear in all of them. So for me, my approach and like how I said it, and then knowing what the game plan was before I told them, was vital for me. Because I wanted to preserve kind of like their, you know, I just didn't want them to be scared. And then if they're scared, they're going to freak me out.
It's a domino effect, yeah. Let's help each other out, right?
Exactly. Like, I want them to feel confident, like, hey, there's a plan in place. We're gonna kill this cancer. So that's why I think I kept quiet until I had all the information before I started like sharing everything with them. So by the time I started making the phone call, I knew I was going to start with chemo first. Then I was going to have a double mastectomy. Then I was going to have radiation. Then I was going to have reconstruction. And then later, you know, we'll talk about a hysterectomy. Because I do have the breast cancer gene. So genetics has played a big part in my cancer storm. That's kind of passed down, I think, from my mom's side of the family. Back then, when she was diagnosed, there weren't any genetics testing. But 4 sisters, out of 4 sisters, 3 of us have had cancer now.
Oh, wow.
Plus mom. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Runs in our family. So anyway, you know, that said, every time I shared the story with someone, I told them what was going to happen and what was the game plan, and it was go time. And by then, I had already kind of just sat in this place of like, okay, this is my life now. I'm not going to run from it. Let's go. Like, let's kill this cancer. You know. So
where do you get that? Where did you find like that strength? Those moments where you're like, maybe you weren't feeling let's go, but something, what were there things that reminded you or like pushed you like?
No, I think this was more of like education. So
education, yeah.
My breast surgeon, God bless her name is Dr. Carpenter. She's on our board of directors, by the way.
Is she?
Yeah, she's amazing. She's retired now, but my breast surgeon gave me this book written by John Link called The Breast Cancer Survivor Manual. And it answered every question that I could potentially think of about the diagnosis, the treatment, the effects, like what to expect.
Yeah.
And from that, I wrote a bunch of questions.
Oh.
Now I'm like, okay, I'm taking this to my doctor because he's got to answer all these questions.
I got more.
I wanted to know I'm one of those people though. Not everybody is like me. My best friend is also a cancer survivor. She's like, I don't even need to know any of this stuff. Just need to know what I need to do next. And then when I get there, tell me what I need to do after that. I'm the opposite. Like, I have to know everything ahead of time. So, for me, knowledge was power. And knowledge then gave me the courage to just say, all right, let's go. Let's go. And then the faith, of course. Faith is, like, the biggest piece over here of, like, or over here, really. That is, like, the driving force. So, it probably took a few weeks into this new reality of mine, this cancer world, to think in a more fearless way of, like, okay, I may die. Bottom line is we're all going to die. So if I'm going to die, where am I going? Right? So, and because I know where I'm going, so I trust the Lord. I trust what was written. I trust that he died for us. Jesus died for us. So then, that being said, I have this fearless thought of like, okay, whether I live or die, I know where I'm going and all is good. So, what do I have to lose? Let's go. Yeah.
And then what happened? Like, as far as you had these surgeries done, and then how does that work? Usually, is it they do more tests and then you find out you're cancer free, or I'm not really sure the process.
Yeah, because I had so much cancer, we needed to shrink it down with the chemo. So it was infusions every 2 weeks. It was gnarly. It was so much pain. I had a lot of pain. Like my bones, my joints, everything hurt. I felt like I was burning on the inside, basically. That all changed with diet later. I'll tell you about that. So food is like an important part of also healing and just helping your well-being. But I needed to kill the cancer with chemo. So as hard as chemo was, it's like I got to keep going. And all right, here comes chemo number 2, chemo number 3. I had 8. But every time I had chemo, like the next week I'd feel around and I was like, oh, the tumor feels smaller. It feels like I can feel it changing. Really? And that gave me enough of like a boost. I was like, oh, this cancer treatment is working. So by the time I had my last chemo, I couldn't even feel the tumors anymore.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, this is a good sign. So then I had a mastectomy a few weeks after my last chemo. Got rid of both breasts. I didn't realize how much of a heaviness I had knowing I still had my breast and my cancer. Didn't know what was happening until they were gone. And then I woke up and I was like, they're gone. Jesus. I was like, thank you. Like, I felt so relieved when they were gone.
Wow.
And then I got the pathology report that said 0 evidence of cancer.
Wow.
Or no evidence of disease, which is NED, is the acronym that we all strive for as cancer patients. We want to be NED. And so no evidence of disease, complete response to treatment, which is unheard of for the type of cancer that I had, for it to be completely gone. Because those who don't have any remnants of cancer have a longer health outcome. Like the data shows that they live longer. Their cancer doesn't come back as often. So like, this is a good sign. All right, cool. Like milestone number 1, check.
Yeah.
Breasts are gone, cancer's gone. Thank you, Jesus. So then after that, I had to go through radiation. More of a preventative measure because I had so much cancer they didn't want it to come back. So radiation is like science fiction in a room. Like it's scary. It is so scary. Like they map it for you. Well, it was scary at the time for me because I didn't know what to expect. And in my brain, I was a 10-year-old seeing my mom suffering of radiation in the 80s. I didn't know how much easier it was at that time, and now it's even a little bit more easy. So anyway, I was super scared then. And they map you, so they know how to align you so the beams come down, and so I had these little tattoos put on me so that the doctors knew where to align me on this little bed. I had 35 of those, so once a day, 5 days a week for 7 weeks straight. Gnarly.
What, may I ask, like, you haven't once really said anything about anger, like.
Yeah, I wasn't angry.
Yeah, I'm like, that is, because for me, I know, I'm like, I feel like, I don't know how I would react, but I don't know, like.
I wasn't angry. No, there were some moments where I would, like, cry. I did cry a lot.
But no anger, that's
yeah, I wasn't angry. I was frustrated. I had some frustration. I remember the first time I unleashed my frustration to my doctor was in radiation. When I was on the bed, they were mapping me. And I remember I had my wig on. I felt sick from chemo, still recovering from chemo, and I was just tired. I just was in pain and just cranky. And I started crying. I just in the bed start crying as they're mapping me, and the doctor's like, "Well, baby, start again. What's going on?" He paused everything.
Like, let me tell you what's going on.
He's like, he pretty much sent everybody away, and he just like, what's going on?
Wow.
Tell me what's going on. I'm like, this sucks, blah blah blah. Like, I'm just so frustrated. I can't believe this is my life right now. Blah blah blah. So I had some of those moments. It wasn't all positive all the time,
but those moments, like, I feel like those moments can be.
They were cathartic. They were needed, and so just the doctor give me the space to do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
amazing. I remember my tears were just going back in the back of my wig, and I was just irritated by that too. But even that was a moment. I'll never forget that moment that Dr. Ash, Robert Ash, just stopped, and he's like, "What's going on? Tell me." I'm like, okay, I feel better now. Go carry on. And we finished the mapping that day, and that I always talk about that with when I tell my story about the doctors. I did show up with my first oncology appointment, my oncologist, with my 60-something or 80-something handwritten notes and questions. Wow. He answered almost all of them. 45 minutes, an hour. I don't know how long he spent with me. Probably way longer than he's supposed to. He drew stuff and explained things to me because I needed to know. And then this doctor making the time for me to just kind of have a meltdown.
Wow.
And then my breast surgeon saying, "Hey, Yoli, I think you should start mentoring patients."
Oh yes, that's how it happened, right?
Yeah, that was like the turning point. Because by then I was done with treatment, and I was still recovering from all the surgery. I had a lot of surgeries. In the course of putting my body back together was when I started mentoring patients for my doctor.
What did your surgeon see? What made them think you should do this?
Probably because I was just loudmouth and like I walk in the cancer center like I'm going to a party. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And my outcome was really good because I had a lot of cancer. Like, it was a critical case.
Wow.
And the type of cancer that I had was triple negative, which basically means that it was not driven through hormones, which can be suppressed. The hormones can be suppressed. This is like one of the most aggressive cancers you can possibly have. And the recurrence rate within the first 2 years is significantly higher than the different other cancers. So this cancer was hard to beat. And here I was beating it, you know.
Wow.
And then on top of that.
She was beating it.
So then on top of that, you know, having a good outlook and having a good outcome. And so I think that was the combination of all the three things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what an honor to be asked to do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to say?" She's like, "Just tell her your story. You're fine."
Go
do it. I was like, okay. And you know, the cool thing about my cancer journey, storm, whatever you want to call it, I captured a lot of it in photos. Just, I love taking pictures, and just it's for me, it's my story. I want to be able to reflect on this, and you know, just kind of spend some time, kind of soaking it in that this is like this happened. And so that also turned into this toolkit, this little herramienta that I would take to my mentoring experiences and like tell my not clients at that time, my mentees, I'm like, "Well, this is the outcome of my surgery. I look fine. My breasts are pretty, you know, don't look at the internet because the internet's scary. Don't look at that, but here's some cool pictures, you know." And that also alleviated fear, right? So it's like every stage from like shaving my head to getting the breast removed, recovering from that, and then the expansions, because it's like science fiction. It's like so cool how they grow your breast and do all these things and like expand your tissue and the implants and all these things. It's a super cool process that unless people educate you or you ask questions, you're not gonna know, and you're gonna be even more scared.
Yeah.
You know, and if you go online and you look at breast reconstruction, you're gonna see the worst photos ever. You know, so, and I know everybody's different. Some people have complications and, you know, rejections and stuff, but at the end of the day, like, I'd say ask the doctor for pictures rather than going online. So anyway, I started mentoring patients.
No, that's great. So you started mentoring them, and so how do you transition from mentoring to
this?
Cancer Kinship?
Oh my goodness! Well, I mentored for many years, probably about 8 years, without even having any intention of starting a nonprofit. It was just something I did on the side. I loved my job at the time. I was working at a nonprofit resource center, just helping people start their nonprofits and help sustain them through different ways. I just really enjoyed mentoring patients because of this. Not only was I able to share my story and help people, and that's also very purposeful and very like just such a great feeling. It wasn't even that. It was that most of the mentees, the patients would say, "How do I get to do what you're doing when I'm done?"
Oh.
Isn't that cool?
That's pretty dang cool.
Like, this is when they're
like, what?
In the scariest moment, like in the scariest period of their diagnosis, when they're first diagnosed and they're trying to gather information and learning from me, like what to expect and this and that. And then they still have the thought of, "Well, how do I get to give back?"
That's so cool.
Isn't that awesome? So I'm like,
so cool.
So I go back to Dr. Carpenter. I'm like, "Okay, how do we do this?"
That's beautiful.
And so the Cancer Center actually created a mentorship program. I helped contribute to that and gave some ideas. And they just kind of left it at that. And then I kept being asked to mentor. Fast forward, here I was an 8-year survivor. Fully embraced life as a survivor, by the way. I started doing all the pink races and started skydiving with my best friend.
Skydiving?
Yeah, we jumped a lot. But, you know, we've done a lot of fun things now as survivors, like my friend and I and my family and I. I fully embraced this life as a survivor and loved it. It was like top of the world. But then, when my sister got diagnosed with cancer. And I would much rather go through cancer 10 times than to see my loved one go through it once, you know? And so, you know, she had a complicated case because she was developmentally disabled and she was in an abusive relationship marriage, and we didn't really know what was going on, and she lived far from us, didn't have the support or the knowledge and know-how to navigate through a diagnosis. So by the time the family found out, it was so advanced that, like, it was only a matter of time. So when I found out, I actually brought her to Orange County the same day that I found out and saw this progression of disease. And so I brought her to Orange County. And so powering through that, I always tell people, in those days, I just felt like a machine. Like, there was no real emotion that I could let out because I need to get her to the doctor. I need to get her in these scans and the biopsies and this and that, and her diet. Let's get her healthy. And I couldn't even, like, my emotions have nothing to do with this. Let's have a job to do.
Do you feel that the emotions would have, like, held you back?
I think that it would have, I would have been really scared because I knew she was dying. I knew it. But I had a job to get done, and I had still, like, family to take care of and her kids and, like, all the things. So when she passed, which was about 6 weeks after I brought her to Orange County, she died really fast.
Very fast.
Day after Christmas, she passed away. By the time the family went home, I had this kind of, like, meltdown moment and just so grief-stricken. I was so sad. And then the doctor called, Dr. Carpenter called, and she's like, I have one more patient for you. I was like, are you kidding? There's
like,
no
now's
way.
a good time.
I was like, I don't think I can do this. It's like, I'm a wreck. By then, it was probably a few months after my sister passed that I started hiking a lot, just kind of in my own head. I kind of stayed away from friends. Like, I had a big circle of friends back then, and because I was at the top of my survivor world, so I was doing a lot of fun stuff back then. And then all of a sudden, all of it came to a screeching halt because I just needed time to heal.
Yeah.
And the way I do that is alone, like, leave me alone. I just want to be alone. So I was hiking a lot. I remember Dr. Carpenter called. She's like, I have this patient. She's like, she's really scared. She could really benefit from talking to you. Like, this is a bad idea. And I'm like, this backfires. This is on you, sister. So, but I agreed to go. And she wanted to see my pictures too. So I went with my laptop to the restaurant and showed her my pictures. Had the best conversation. And I did tell her my sister's story. I told her my mom's story, my story. That created, I think, a sense of urgency for her. I'm like, I don't have time to spare. Like, I need to just, let's go. Right?
Let's go.
Let's start this treatment. And yeah, she's still a dear friend now. She's still fighting cancer. She's an amazing cancer warrior, you know. So it was then that I was like, okay, Lord, like, this is it. I keep getting these calls to mentor. People need this kind of support. I know how to run a nonprofit. I teach people how to do it all the time. I'm like, fine. I was very prayerful about it. Yeah. And, like, I had this, like, nagging feeling in my heart of, like, just go, just do it, go.
You can't, those feelings you cannot be ignored. No. Right? Because it's like,
I'd be working, and every ounce of me wanted to get the heck out of there and just go. Yeah. As much as I liked my job back then, you know, and so it's like, all right.
Like, having experienced it and having the loss that you had, like, were you worried about, like, reservations of, like, is this too close to home? Like, am I going to be able to carry this?
Yeah. I don't think I thought it. Some people have brought that up to me over the years of, like, how is this not triggering for you? Yeah. I never said it wasn't. I feel it too. You know, they come in here and I cry with my clients all the time. Yeah. So that's just being human. I actually did research. I'm like, how do doctors, like, work with their patients and not get so emotionally caught up in their work? And I had this conversation with my doctor, some of my doctors, and I think it was Dr. Carpenter. She's like, you just be human. She's like, of course you're gonna be upset with your clients. Like, you care about them. She's like, I cared about you. You know, so she's like, those are the best doctors, are the ones that really just kind of live it with their patients. She's like, you're fine.
That's a good, I love it. Knowledge is power, though. I love it. You're like, let me do the research, let me ask questions. Yeah. That's really cool. No, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, but it is hard. You know, I cry all the time, or when they leave, I cry. You know, it's like, oh, this is so hard. Or, you know, if I know that their cancer is advanced and they're really suffering. Yeah. Like, I've had some really intense cases of true suffering. I'd still rather be there with them than not. You know, it's an honor.
Wow. Yeah. It's an honor to be in this room with you. I think it's that you have the desire, the will, the heart to do this. And, you know, It's a very welcoming space. So how long has the nonprofit been around?
So I started writing the business plan in 2016. My sister passed in 2014. So by 2016, I was writing the business plan, launched it in 2018, November of 2018. So this November, we're celebrating 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yay.
Can you walk us through, like, what did you envision when you started it? Like, what is the experience you wanted people to feel?
Yeah. Well, earlier you used the word tribe, and that's what I envision. It's like this tribe, this community, hence the name Kinship. I remember sitting with my friends and like, come over to my house, I'll give you wine and cheese and crackers, and we're just going to brainstorm on names.
Oh,
I said, but it needs to feel like family. It needs to be very direct. No question on who we serve. Can't have my name on it because it's not about me or my family. Right. It's about the community. It needs to be community owned. But it also has to signify family. So kinship, like we looked it up, like it's not taken, yay! So Cancer Kinship. But really what I envisioned is this community of cancer warriors helping cancer warriors. Survivors, you know, there are people that are not going to beat cancer. They have stage 4 cancer. So even for them, using the word survivor is not a word that's often welcomed by that community, the stage 4 cancer community, because they're not going to survive. Or maybe not for, too long. Or hopefully for a long time. Yeah. Things are changing there too, thankfully. But even using the word survivor, so it's like thrivers, like how do we help people thrive? I wanted this to be like just a community for us, but also a way for them to give back and have a sense of purpose, sense of belonging, have our cancer community experience what I experienced as a mentee, right? Giving them a way to serve and give back. And so even here at the salon, looking for volunteers to do the wig consultations, people who know what it's like to lose your hair and wear a wig, and they can offer practical tips and tools and knowledge and make that process easier and just be their person, right? Like just show up for them and be their person.
They're showing up.
Yeah. But the first program we launched was peer mentorship, so I created a curriculum around mentorship. We launched our first program in October of 2019 after I received a grant from Providence St. Joseph's, my cancer center. Once I got that grant, it's like, all right, peace out. I'm resigning from my job. And this has been my life ever since, right? As far as work goes. So we launched peer mentorship with help from an AmeriCorps who was amazing. She helped me get a lot of programs off the ground. And then we launched our cancer education and empowerment workshops and activities. And then 5 months later, the pandemic happened. So I was like, oh, great. Oh, yes, the pandemic. So it was really hard just to kind of get our programs off the ground because the cancer centers were not aware of us, and we're not, absent of my cancer center, but all the other surrounding cancer centers weren't referring patients to us, so they didn't really know that we existed. But we went online, even had a little bit of global reach. It was so cool. We had people joining us from London, Tasmania, Australia for our workshops online on Zoom. That was super cool.
That's very cool. Look what you're doing. Like, I just think it's like, I think you're such a great example of like, I think some of us are scared to take chances, or how can we help make an impact? And I think like, wow.
And you don't even have to quit your job to do this. To have an impact. Like you can just volunteer a couple hours a week or whatever. I think I went full extreme, quit my job and doing all that.
Well, that's okay too. I'm like,
you can do that too.
I mean, it's like anything whatever the, large or small, like any kind of impact.
Yeah.
You just never know where it will lead,
Right.
Who knows, like your next volunteer might be, supporting you in other greater ways, or might be inspired to do something. I mean, I love that your mentees were already like, how can I support other people? And I feel like, oh man, when I heard you say that, I was like, that's what all this is about. It's like, how do you're like enriching people, right, with their storm, but you're also empowering them to help other people.
Yeah.
Which is like.
And so if you look at our logo, you'll see this movement, right? So it's a bunch of C's, like cancer. So that's a storm. That signifies the storm, the tornado, and then there's calm in the middle. But it's also full circle, right? So it's getting the newly diagnosed cancer patients, supporting them, walking alongside them to the point when now they come full circle and they now are the ones that are providing the support. And it's just this continual circle of cancer warriors supporting each other.
I think it's what's wonderful about what you're doing and the symbolism is, we talked earlier about, we talked offline, haha. But about, I really want your opinion on this, is like, whether it's cancer or something else, right? Something you weren't expecting that is difficult to navigate, whatever that is, right? You talk about how important it is about the lesson here, or hopefully the inspiration here today is this idea of like you can handle it, like you have strength. What advice or what's your philosophy in like this idea of like whatever comes your way, how do you and I wouldn't say confront it, rather like work through it, or how do you manage it, like what are your thoughts?
Don't do it alone. That's my thought. Because even in launching this organization, yes, I had the skill set and the know-how. Like I was already doing this for a living before at my other job. But I don't know what I don't know. I don't know everything. So even just bringing people to walk alongside you, and even just to give you tough love and the nudges of like, okay, where are we with this? Your accountability partner.
Okay.
Like it's just surrounding yourself with the people that are gonna uplift you and nudge you and like push you along. So and could be the same with business. That's the same with disease prevention or anything in life. It's like, who are your people? Like bring your people along and let them in. And even when you don't have the energy, or even when your faith is lacking, like they're gonna uplift you. And if they're not uplifting you, then they're not the right people in your circle at that moment. Right? They're gonna be on the periphery over here. But
I mean, yeah, I think it's true. I think why do you think people are afraid to like let people in? Like, do you think it's
a combination. Like in this case with disease, it's heartbreaking, right? You're breaking people's hearts all over and over again, and it's sometimes you don't know how to explain your feelings, and it's very raw. You're very vulnerable in this space. So there's that. Like for me, when I was not asking for help, is because I wanted to just like prove to myself that I was this independent woman. I didn't need anybody. But the bottom line is I needed everybody, right? And you know, so I had somebody kind of put me in my place.
Oh, did you? What did you say that made them do that?
Because they were like, let me know when you need, or do you need any help? Or they were asking if I needed help. And I said, no, I'll let you know. And then my friend got upset, and she's like, you know what? This is all a faith conversation. She's like, you know what, Yoli? She's like, what if God put it in my heart to help you, and you're preventing God's will from happening right now?
Whoa, like, don't bring them into this.
And I was like, oh, and I was like, you're absolutely right. Like, I need, like, people are motivated to serve and give back and do good.
Yeah.
Why should I stand in the way of that? Especially if it's going to help better my life, better my family. Like, of course, like, accept help and quit being this prideful person. And so I squashed my pride after that little tidbit. And really realized, like, wow, like, this person really wants to serve. Like, God put it in her heart to help me, and, like, I need to just say yes. And then after that, like, a lot of my prayers were answered, because I was really struggling. Like, I was struggling financially. I didn't know how, like, food was going to be brought into, you know, for my family. Like, 'cause I had to take care of my family. I was the only breadwinner. Yeah, I really needed help. I needed help paying my rent. Like, it was just so many things that I needed help with. And had I not accepted help, I probably would have lost my home, maybe my car. Like, there's a lot of stuff on the line, and so I just needed to kind of push that pride away and just say yes, let people serve and give back.
I like that.
Yeah. So even here, like, I struggle in letting community in to help with volunteerism, because it's hard to manage volunteers, right? It's like, oh, I could do it, you know, faster myself, or it's just going to take time. How am I going to, you know, if I'm so busy with clients, how am I going to have time managing volunteers? It is a job, right? And again, I had somebody, this is like humbling moments, like real talk. Sister Regina, I'll never forget it. She's one of the sisters of St. Joseph's. She told me, how are things going, Yoli? And I'm like, yeah, I'm really struggling, and it's hard to fundraise and this and that. And then she goes, well, it's time for you to let community in. She's like, how are you with volunteers? I said, I have some here and there. And she's like, you need more. She's like, you need to let community in. She's like, this, again, at the end of the day, this is not your organization, it's the community, so let them in.
Oh.
Isn't that beautiful?
Like, yeah.
They kind of like that, what I said, like that nudge. Like, people that are going to, like, encourage you, be your accountability partner. And
it's true that on one side it is challenging. You know, I think as people, like, if you own your own nonprofit, in my case, I own my business, it is hard to let people in that trust of, like, how, you know, but then there's people like Sister, what's her name? Sister
Regina,
who are like, let me help you. Like I recently had a live show that a good friend of mine, Jessica, shout out to Jessica Escalante, like she was like, let me help you. And I'm like, you want to help me? I was like, what? And that was a whole journey. Even when you talk about that kind of stuff, it's like just this idea of like letting people help you. It's hard sometimes, but then once you do, then you're like, oh wow, like
Yeah.
I couldn't have done this by myself, literally.
Absolutely.
And you're like,
and then I see like real life examples of the outcome of when somebody who maybe has more experience or passion or connections even
yeah,
can tear down a door or break down that wall. And I see it in real time, in real life, every day, even just in our work. So pandemic happened. Patients needed help getting their rental assistance, getting applications for Cal Optima Health or Medi-Cal. They just need a lot. They needed food, they needed diapers, they needed all kinds of things for their families. Didn't know where to turn. So we launched resource navigation. And that is like the most time consuming, very partnership centered work.
Oh yes.
Right? But also the gateway to people having access to healthcare, access to food, shelter, you name it. I had a lot of calls from cancer patients going through domestic violence, sleeping in their cars next to the cancer center because they had radiation 5 days a week.
Oh my gosh.
It was like, how do we rapidly rehouse them, get them in a safe place?
I've never even thought about that, to be honest. Like,
most people don't.
No.
Even in my,
I'm like, wow.
what's happening?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
being able to see the outcome of bringing people in, the experts that know how to do this, and like just calling in, like literally picking up the phone and calling the CEO of another nonprofit and saying, how do we get them housing, or can we get food at their door today? Like they're running out of food today. It happens, it gets done. Like, wow, that's powerful stuff, but it took a village to get it done, right? So even that's very humbling of like, wow, like, you know, it takes a village truly to power through life. I need to model that by accepting help too. Yeah. Because again, I don't know everything. I don't have access to all the resources. I need a lot of help around here. And the bottom line is we're getting so many referrals now that it's like, it is super overwhelming. I need my staff and volunteers. It's like we need a whole crew over here.
So how can people support?
Yes.
Let's put it out there.
We'll talk
Let's
about
manifest.
Definitely. Volunteer and donate. Those are the two main things. But also even just making connections, right? Like, look at this connection. Came from the Latino Giving Circle.
Hey, the Orange County.
Shout out to the Orange County Latino Giving Circle.
Latino Giving Circle. I know.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And you never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah.
Just kind of be open to that, right?
Yeah.
Being open to being vulnerable too, right? So that's like the learning from the resource navigation program. It's like, wow, like we really need each other to get through life. And then, but we also need some cute stinking wigs because we need to look cute too. I always say stinking everything. So it's like just like this whole vibe of like feeling good about yourself and feeling like your best self. And sometimes all it takes is a cute little wig.
I mean, I think it's so refreshing to your passion and your spirit is so, because like your brochure says, it says cancer is scary, your life doesn't have to be. And I think that there's this renewed hope and comfort that you yourself bring as a person.
Thank you.
And now you're bringing these resources to people because it's scary.
It really is. And you know what? I get asked a lot.
What do you get asked a lot?
They're like, is this a wig? When
Do
they come in, when they come into the salon, it's not a wig. It's not. Like, my hair grew back. But even just being able to show people, like, look, your hair grows back.
And it's like beautiful curly hair. Like that.
Thank you. But even just that. So my big thing is also modeling it, right? So model the behavior that you want to inspire people to, you know, and you have to live it. You know, there are a lot of things that I learned along the way as a cancer patient that helped me just get up out of bed. You know, and it's like getting up, putting a cute little lipstick on, or just even the self-care piece is such an important piece, taking care of your mental health. That's everything.
I think one of the biggest things I've challenged personally, I'm very open about it, is like navigating being, you know, gay in my home and all that it brought with me. Yeah. And I want to just make sure that I'm being explicit that I'm not comparing that experience to cancer. Make no mistake of that. But I ask myself, and so I ask you, I wonder what you feel of this, like, there was a long time, and that's why I talked about the angry part, because I was angry for a long time. I was angry because I was like, why do people that are not like me get to live life and not worry about this, not be afraid of your own family and be depressed, and like, why me, you know? And for me, the silver lining has been like, I can't imagine myself any other way. Like, this experience of being exactly who I am and however the universe Lord has made me, like
Yeah.
I would have never be sitting here with you. Like it's brought me such, I don't know, it's left a beautiful mark of like how I see myself and how I can see other people and be open and and it's done all that for me.
I can relate to that totally, because patients who are diagnosed like today, right?
Yeah.
They're newly diagnosed. When I tell them, I'm so glad I went through cancer. Like, I don't know that I would want another life right now. Like, it's led me to this, and it's led me to this community that I now have and that I'm a part of. It's been the biggest blessing for me. And yes, it is the hardest thing I've ever gone through. The diagnosis, of course, but the loss of family and just all my people, like my closest people I've lost. But I also got to see the most beautiful side of them. Got to see what happens when you're resilient, when you have hope, when you could just kind of embrace the struggle and then just keep powering through, because it's not easy. I still feel pains and like I have to deal with stuff all the time. I think the biggest thing that I had to struggle with, aside from my diagnosis, is the fact that I can't be a mom. I had to have a hysterectomy. There are these long-term effects of the diagnosis or life that, it's always there. It's kind of like this little dark cloud that kind of follows you everywhere, but at the same time, it's like you get these little sunlights and sparkles. I have a friend that's just like, yeah, sparkle everywhere. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have this little shadows everywhere either.
Right, the shadows.
Right?
Yeah,
but I also
real.
wouldn't want it any other way. Scars and all. Like, I always encourage my clients to, like, learn to love your scars, or they're a part of your story.
Yeah.
But yeah, people look at me like I'm crazy, especially when they're
really?
like in the early diagnosis, where I'm like, it's the best thing that's gonna ever happen to you, or could be the best thing that could ever happen to you, or you're gonna have a wonderful testimony at the end of this, and they're like, I can't see it, or you're crazy.
Do they come back? What do they tell you when they come back?
Well, those folks, some of them are on the other side of it now. I'm on this quest now to start collecting stories. I want to hear the stories now. How are people doing? Because now we're going into our 6th year, right? I am on this quest, aside from our online store that we're launching on Friday, but on this quest to collect 100 stories. I want 100 stories of cancer warriors who are on the other side of it now. Doesn't mean they're cured. Some of them may be, but like, what happened? Tell us what happened. What are some of the things that we can learn from, or what are the things that you wish people knew about your diagnosis, or what you had to go through, or still going through? What are those not to do's, right? What are the advice for us as family members to support cancer patients? Like, just tell the story.
Have you ever thought of doing like a documentary?
No, but let's talk.
I was like, because I think like, I don't know, I think that there's something really powerful in this storm you talk about.
Yeah.
And it's, I think what's so special, again, when I say this story with you, is like, maybe people don't relate to it, maybe they do with the cancer storm, but like life's storms, the storms that we have in our life, the things that we don't think we can face or work through.
Yeah.
And we get in our car and we can't get to the place because we're just we're in our own head, right? And I think what you're tapping into is that I see you and I see hope. You know what I mean?
You.
So I think like, I think that would be really cool to like circle back and see the realness in it, right? Like whether it's good or bad, like what was that experience for them? Like where are they now?
Right.
Because we all want to see hope. We all want to see reality too, like the realness.
Yeah, it's the realness. I think it's like the secret sauce, right?
Yeah.
That's the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always in awe when I see my clients, especially when they power through and now they're like navigating life, or they get to this place where they're like, they're in this rhythm, this cadence that is like peaceful for them, even though it's hard.
Yeah.
They're at peace with what's happening and they're just powering through. Like, that's beautiful to see, but it's like, how do we get there, right? And what are those tips or those hurdles even? And just, it's such a beautiful, vulnerable, painful story.
I think about, what I think about is like, sometimes things happen and I think about this, something happened earlier this year and I was like, I really just wanted to press like forward. I was like, can we just skip this one? Like you're online and you're just like, I'm just gonna skip this. And it's like, and life obviously does not work that way, right? There's no skipping. But I think that what I'm learning is that like, this is, like you said, the reality is happening before you, and there's no skipping it. So it's like really understanding, like, okay, what do I see? What am I experiencing? Like, and whatever those things are, like, they are going to inform you. And I'm going to go back to your mom here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't meet this woman, but I'm going to, like, ooh. But I think about, like, I keep going back to your story about her, and I'm like, oh man, like, had she not done that with you guys, like,
right.
And if she would have done it differently, you would have probably had a different experience with
yeah.
your cancer and how what you're doing now. And it's like, so it's like the things we do and how we cope with them, it's like going to affect the way the people that are seeing us,
right.
how they're going to do it. And
that
it's like this,
effect.
it's the whole thing. So it's like, yeah. Anyways, did any of that make sense?
Totally.
Are you with me?
Yes, I'm tracking. I'm right there.
You're tracking.
Yeah. I'm really grateful for my mom and my father too, because the way his approach, and he wasn't the best dad either. Like, he has his struggles and his vices and things. There are things that I wish he did differently, but there's also that forgiveness piece of
what's your dad's name? Sorry.
Jose. Ines. Everybody calls him Ines. He's like 4'0". He's so cute. He's like my little teddy bear now. He's the most adorable father ever. But I learned a lot from him too. The big lesson from my dad though is like he is like the hardest working man I've ever met in my life. So even in the approach to my health, like, you just work your butt off and just keep going no matter what. Like, you just show up. There was never a time that my dad didn't go to work, even when he was sick.
Wow.
Even hungover, like all the things. He was a musician. He partied a lot, my father. But he always showed up for his family. Like, he went to work and that's that whole show up thing, right? I feel blessed. This is a huge blessing. It's hard. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, though.
It's hard. It's hard stuff.
Yeah.
But I like what you're talking about, the community, like, leaning in, that you don't have to do it alone.
Right.
You shouldn't do it alone.
And even like this wig store, I was entrusted with this program. So this wasn't even on my radar to have a wig program at all. And during the pandemic, again, this is when like organizations, business models were changing. I got a call from Komen, Susan G. Komen Foundation, and they had this wig program for 20-something years. And they're like, we're closing our offices, going remote. Do you want to pick up 350 wigs and do whatever you want with them? Like, run a program? Like, okay. But this is also goes back to one of my main things of like, just say if you just listen to that voice in your heart or your head and just say yes and just kind of roll with it. And so now we have a salon and now we have an online wig store we're launching.
Because you said yes.
Yeah.
So tell us about the wig salon that you're launching. So by the time this airs, it will have already launched.
Yes.
So we'll make sure we'll put the link in the
yes.
bio and the whole thing. So you have a salon here, you have wigs here that people can choose from, but now you have
an online wig store. Yes. So the salon itself, so this program here, this room, this space, and the wigs that are here, they're free for the community, free for cancer patients, especially those who cannot afford them. So I get referrals from all the cancer centers in Orange County.
Wow.
Some from all outside. I know it's a big accomplishment.
Dude.
I know. It's been a blessing, and I've even had a lot of clients come from outside of Orange County that just simply don't have access to wigs anywhere. So from the Valley, from like Elsinore, and we're just kind of all over to come here. One of our partners, she says, it's because you give them a lot of TLC. And I'm like, oh, thank you for that. We try to give them a lot of TLC when they're here. So it's free here. But thousands of dollars of wigs are leaving the salon every week because we're giving them away. We need to replenish. And the grants are amazing when we get them, but sometimes don't come, right? Or they run out, right?
But if you know of anybody who has good grants, you reach out to them.
We need some grants.
Yeah.
And capacity building ones.
Yeah.
But so, the grants are amazing when they come. The challenge is that we can't budget around them because we don't know if we're going to get approved or not, or, money gets reallocated to other pressing issues. Right now, housing, homelessness, mental health, they're all big pressing issues. So a lot of funding is going towards that. Grants run out at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And of course, our individual donors, they support us, and we see those donations come through year round. But it's just smart business to find a way to earn money, right? Be self-sustaining.
Yep.
The most successful nonprofits are the ones that have earned income. So in trying to create a diverse portfolio of funding coming in, it's like, well, how do we make some money, right? And the easiest way, in our opinion, my opinion, was to have a very mission-aligned program, which is wigs We already have wigs, so let's like sell wigs to support the wig program.
Yeah.
It just goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
And then I joined the UCLA Academy of Social Entrepreneurship a couple years ago.
Cool.
And it was an amazing experience in that I was assigned students to help do the research, look at the market valuation and figure out, is this a viable business?
Wow.
The answer is yes. Like, it is a growing market, and the United States has the largest piece of the pie, right? So we have a lot of consumers, wig consumers, everyday wig wearers. I didn't realize how many people just wear wigs for fun, right? They want to preserve their natural hair underneath, so they wear these fun, elaborate wigs of different colors. They can change colors every day if they want to, and like I change my shoes. It's like, that is super cool. Of course, cancer and alopecia. And I forget what the stat, it's like 65% or something like that, don't quote me, of cancer patients going through chemo lose their hair. And now cancer patients, this year, American Cancer Society said that it's going to exceed 4 million people diagnosed in the U.S. this year of 4 screenable cancers. So a lot of people are still getting diagnosed with cancer, and they're going to need wigs. And we're in the cancer space already, so it just makes sense to have a business around wigs. And there's also fashion, there's drama club, there's Halloween, there's so many reasons to wear a wig. So I'm like, we need to make this online store for everyone. Because the whole idea is to build this community to support the cancer warriors. And so our hope is to have a very successful store. I'm praying for that, and we want to sell the heck out of wigs.
Okay.
We want to sell a lot of wigs.
Okay.
And make it a very successful organization. And 100% of the net sale will come back to the organization, because ultimately, this business is Cancer Kinship's business.
No, this has been, thank you so much for taking all my questions.
Yeah.
I feel empowered. I feel hopeful. I feel like inspired to keep on supporting. So yeah, let's keep talking about the documentary thing. Yeah, thank you for taking the time to share it. Thank you for doing everything that you're doing for the community.
You're just excited about the beans over there.
Yeah, I'm like ready to eat those beans, the guacamole. Gosh, Yoli.
Yeah. It is a blessing. Like, I honestly feel like the success of our online business and just the organization, it's going to be a community thing, right? So it's like, I need y'all. I need all of you. Just spread the word, like spread it like wildfire, and let's get these cancer warriors. A few weeks ago, started like 3 weeks ago, I had a client come in. She's looking for a particular wig, and I get a lot of Latinas, so they have hair that looks like mine, and I have a lot of like light colored wigs, not a lot black, not a lot of dark browns, and it's the first time I had to send somebody away without a wig, and it crushed me. Because I knew she was going to lose her hair soon. Like, it was already going. So I'm like, I need to prevent that. How do we prevent that from happening, and how do I bring in more inventory here? And the bottom line is, I need to sell wigs. I need to bring in some more money in here so we can buy some more wigs.
Some more curly hair in here?
Yeah. And then that happened 2 more times after that. I'm like, wow, my inventory is low for the type of population that we serve here at our organization. That doesn't mean they won't choose a cute blonde wig, but at the end of the day, I want our clients to feel like themselves. And so.
That's so great about what you I think that's like your anthem here. It's like you saw, like, you didn't let those, I wouldn't say shortcomings, right? But it's like those challenges. Thank you. You're like, oh no, now we just got to find out how to make this work, And I think some people are quick to be like, well,
it's a Vincent.
Yeah, and you're like, no. How do we do this? And so I think I applaud you. I know you've been working really hard on launching this. It's called a social enterprise, right?
The social enterprise.
Social enterprise. So
again, it was a tribe, right? So I had Isabel Bart. She's like a social enterprise expert. She's been with me at the hip. Kristen Epperson. She's been amazing. There's a gal named Kristen. She's been my person on all things nonprofit strategy. Again, this is building the tribe and having my people around me.
That's wonderful.
Executive coaches of Orange County. I mean, you name it. I've had attorneys help. Like, just a lot of people have gone into building this online store with me. A Positive Future, it's a marketing firm. They've done amazing work just building the store. Like, what do I know about e-commerce, right? And then
now a lot probably.
Now a lot. And then even like the wigs, right? We selected Envy Wigs as our company. The back end company, the wholesaler that's providing the wigs for us. They're doing all the shipping fulfillment. You know,
Wow.
it's truly going to take a village to get this job done and get these wigs to these amazing people all over. But
So you've said you're saying yes.
I said yeah.
You're saying yes to community. Awesome.
Yep, absolutely.
Any last words for anyone who, I don't know, who maybe may have been recently diagnosed or is in their storm? Is there any parting words that you want to share with anybody?
I'll circle back to the comment I made earlier about not going through this alone. Like find those, it could even be one person to just kind of bring in and say, this is what's going on. I'm scared. Let's be scared together.
Let's be scared together.
Right?
Yeah.
And let's eat some good food, you know, because it is important to take care of yourself and nourish yourself, body, mind, spirit, and that'll give you the fortitude and the strength to just keep going.
Well, we can't wait to share this story with the rest of you all. And I'll definitely, please look at the description below to get in contact with Yoli, follow them on social media, check out their wig store.
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I'm
Yoli.
so excited for this.
I know. Look at your camera. She's like, you're not in this camera. I'm like, this is your camera.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That's a wrap on Yoli. That's a wrap.